Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order, please, with my new gavel that my husband gave me for Christmas. Okay. Can we do the roll call, please?
Clifford. Here. Cowart. Eisenman.
Present.
Esri.
Here.
Furtado. Goss.
Here.
Harper. Ingram.
Here.
King Taylor.
Here.
McGuire. Patterson.
Here.
Rector. Storr. Summers. Taylor.
Here.
Thorsland. Tinsley.
Present.
Vachaspati.
Here.
Woken. Young.
Here.
Clemens.
Here.
Rosales.
There's a quorum present. We'll now do the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight's prayer comes from the book of Galatians. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. And the Pledge of Allegiance. Where is our flag? Oh, there it is. Okay, would the clerk read the notice of the meeting, please?
Notice is hereby given that a regular meeting of the County Board, Champaign County, Illinois, will convene on December 18th, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. in the Lyle Shields Meeting Room, Brookings Administrative Center, 1776 East Washington Street, Urbana, Illinois, in said county for the purpose of allowing and ordering payments of claims against the county, receiving and acting upon reports of committees and such other matters as may be brought before said meeting, which said meeting shall continue in session from day to day until the completion of said business.
Okay, thank you. Needing a motion for approval of the agenda? Okay, by Esri and Young.
Yes.
Any discussion? Jim, did you have, I thought you had a, oh, it's the minutes, sorry, okay. Okay, I would like to say that I'd like to rearrange a couple of things on the agenda. We have invited our honorees tonight, which we agreed at the last year's meeting that we would try to do at the beginning of the meeting so that they don't have to wait through all the business. So that would like to be moved up to first. So moving item 19B, 4, and 5 up to right after this approval of the agenda. And then there is an addendum, and that would be put in section 9 in the appropriate places.
So moved.
Vachaspati move and Patterson second. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Okay, the agenda is accepted. Okay, the next thing is, Mr. Young, would you please read our resolutions honoring our county employees with years of service?
Will do. I would like to say just bear with me because there's a lot of names here. Resolution number 2018-414, resolution honoring county employees. Whereas it is the vision of the Champaign County Board to be a recognized leader in local government where every official and employee has a personal devotion to excellence in public service and embrace the highest standard of ethnic and integrity, which enables Champaign County to provide the best customer service to its citizens. And whereas one element of pursuing this vision is communicating to employees that their service to Champaign County is valued and appreciated. And whereas Champaign County employees admirably serve the people of Champaign County with full commitment to the responsibilities of county offices, work in partnership with fellow employees and county officials and have dedication to the best interests of all the people of Champaign County. And whereas the Champaign County Board wishes to recognize the dedication and service of the employees who have reached a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40 years milestones in the fiscal year 2018. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Board of Champaign County hereby recognize each of the aforementioned Champaign County employees as an asset to the citizen of Champaign County and expresses gratitude and sincere appreciation for their years of service. Presented, adopted, approved, and recognized by the 18th day of December, AD 2018. Okay, here we go. Bear with me. For 5-year service, we got Andrew Griffith, Annie Bradley, Anthony Allegretti, Ashley McLaurin, Barbara Ramsey, Barbara Edwards, Barbara Mann, Bethany Carroll, Brian Kelly, Chad Carson, Christopher Smith, Christopher Wilson, Cody Forties, Corey Penno, Dana Brenner, Daniel Busey, Dolly Lewis, Elizabeth Sinclair, Gregory Vason, Jennifer Turvin, Jill Bolin, Justin Wilmore, Kathy Berger, Kelby Foster, Kimberly Easton Moores, LaShondra Cunningham, Michelle Williams, Ramona Rollins, Sarah Perry, Stanley Kaiser, Wendy Fink, William James, now 10 years of service. Alvin Johnson, Brian Allison, Charles Henners, Christopher Berry, Christopher Dare, Guadalupe Fortinos, I guess you can help me with the 10 years. Jamie Christian, Kimberly Bowdry, Louis Seaton, Michael Thomas, Nicole Boat, Peggy Nelson, Richard Fairman, Robert Duranci, Stephanie Hutt, Stephanie McIntosh, Tanya Wall, Todd Smith, Tanya Irvin, Terena Roan, Angela Less. Okay, now what, 15 years. That's Angela Less, Barbara McLean, Jacqueline Buckingham, Jeffrey Nugent, Carrie Vogue, okay. Vogus, okay. Lindsay Clark, Rita Carr, Whitman Davis, Bradley Moores, 20 years service. Bradley Moores, Jennifer Jarvis, John Cooper, Matthew McCollister, Nina Liffick, Rebecca Woodard, Tommy Foster, Timothy Pervalik, Tracy Wingler, 25 years of service. Elisa Maxey, Anissa Lewis, Carl Robertson, Lori Busboom, Lloyd Mercer, Robert Wagger, Janelle, 30 years, Janelle Abritt, 30 years, John Nacy, 35 years, Robert Weir, Thomas Reed, Evelyn Bose, 40 years, Mark Edwards, 40 years, John Dement, 45 years. Turn to the next page. Okay. Resolution number 2018-415. Resolution honoring retired county employees. Whereas it is the vision of the Champaign County Board to be a recognized leader in local government where every official and employee has a personal devotion to excellence in public service and embraces the highest standard of ethnic and integrity, which enable Champaign County to provide the best customer service to its citizens. And whereas one element of pursuing this vision is communicating to employees that their service to Champaign County is valued and appreciated, and whereas Champaign County employees admirably serve the people of Champaign County with full commitment to the responsibilities of county offices, work in partnership with fellow employees and county office officials, and have dedication to the best interests of all the people of Champaign County. And whereas the Champaign County Board wishes to recognize the dedication and service of the employees who are retiring in the fiscal year 2018. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Champaign County Board hereby recognize each of the aforementioned retiring Champaign County employees as asset to the citizen of Champaign County and expresses gratitude and sincere appreciation for their years of service. Presented, adopted, approved, and recorded the 18th day of December, AD 2018. Years of service, 12 years. Kathleen Brady, 17 years. David Garbo, 19 years. Craig Morrison, 19 years. David Coffey, 20 years. Tracy Wingler, 24 years. Susan Chapin, 26 years. Penny Allen, 26 years. John Carlton, 28 years. Michael McCary, 29 years. Alan Jones, 31 years. Levon Alcorn, 40 years. Evelyn Boats, and 41 years. Joseph Gordon. Congratulations to all these people who have retired and continue to work for the Champaign County. Show them some love.
Okay.
And I need some water.
Could we have the people who were named stand so we can see who they are? I know some of them are here tonight. There's Joe. And David over here. Okay. Thanks for coming. And then we need a motion, Charles, to accept these resolutions. We need to ask for motion.
Any motion to pass this resolution? John, okay, second.
Goss and Summers, moved in second. We accept both of them at the same time? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion?
Forgive me, just as a point of order, isn't in the full board meeting, doesn't the chair move it and then there's a second? Or am I just mistaken?
There's no committees.
There's,
So we're,
Right, but at a county board meeting, my understanding is that the chair of the relevant subcommittee
moves
makes the
everything
motion,
and then there's
moves
a
every
second.
motion brought forth by
but
that.
there's no
committee.
subcommittees yet. There's no subcommittee chair to make the motion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, thank you for coming. Okay, we'll move along to appointment of the chairs for each area of responsibility. So Geraldo Rosales is not here tonight. He's the county board chair who made the appointments. So tonight, Ms. Covert will be reading what he has appointed.
For Justice and Social Services, we have the chair is Patterson, Cal Patterson, and his vice chair is Jim McGuire.
We just need chairs of that.
Oh, just chairs?
Those three.
Okay. Justice and Social Service, Patterson. Policy, Personnel, and Appointment is Young, and Finance is Goss.
And we're needing a
And
motion?
Need a motion to it?
McGuire? To approve it?
No.
Yes. Okay, well, what? Okay, I think McGuire moved. Do we have a second? Clifford, second. Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Can we do the rest of them all together? Do we have to vote on each one, or are you guys fine with taking the rest all together?
It's not it's not the body, like, it's a motion if the body makes a decision, right? But the body isn't making a decision, it's just a reading of an announcement of the
Right.
appointments of the chair.
It requires consent and advice of the board, advice and consent of the board. So. Okay. No, there's no resolutions. Okay.
Thank you. I make a motion, we move the rest of the chairs unappointed in block for appointment. Thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay. McGuire made the motion, Furtado seconded. All in favor? All in favor of taking them all together? Oh, discussion, sorry. Discussion? Okay, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, go ahead, you can go ahead and read all the rest, Lorraine, and they'll take them together.
Okay, for the Environment and Land Use of the Standing Committees, you've got Esri is our chair, Finance, Harper is chair, and Highway and Transportation, Cowart. We've got the vice chairs, Social Justice and Social Services, McGuire, Policy, Personnel, and Appointment is Rector, Finance is Furtado, Environment and Land Use Vice Chair is Thornton, Facilities Vice Chair is Summers, and Highway and Transportation Vice Chair is Clemens. And I so move.
Okay? Second by Esri. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, now we move on to the appointment for the special county board committees, and Lorraine, do you want to do those too?
We've got Labor and Management Health Insurance Committee. We have Clifford and Summons. For the County Board Liaison, the Champaign-Urbana Urbanized Area Transportation Study, which is CULOX. We have Jeff Blue as and county engineer, and Jeff has been on the committee before as chair.
Okay. And then the liaisons? Do you
That
have,
was the liaison,
You're
Jeff
not-
Blue.
oh, okay. Do you have any other liaisons that you need to say?
No, the rest of it
Okay,
will be done when the chair get back in town.
okay. Okay, we can go ahead and approve those. We can go ahead and accept those. So can I get a motion to accept those?
Second,
Harper, second by,
Young.
okay. Discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, the motion passes. Appointment of the county board liaisons, and as Lorraine said, the chair's liaisons will be named at the next future time. I have liaisons to consider for the county board. Community Action Board, McGuire, oh, I need to give Lorraine my gavel for a moment. There you go. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay. The Community Action Board needs one Democrat and one Republican, so I'm asking to appoint McGuire and Storr. County Board of Health is Clemens. Lincoln Heritage would be Storr. Lincoln Legacy Committee, Thorsland. Head Start Policy Board, Taylor. Martin Luther King Jr. Celebration, Cowart. Mental Health Board, Patterson. Reentry Council, McGuire. Regional Planning Commission needs one Democrat and one Republican. That would be Goss and Summers. Rural Transit Advisory Group is Esri. Visit Champaign County is Ingram. And the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, I'll be representing the county, but they need an alternate, and that would be Rosales. So,
Okay. Need a motion to accept those appointments.
So moved.
Any discussion?
I'm slightly confused. If you pass the gavel to her, aren't you making the motion and just seeking a second, or am I
I'm
confused?
not part of the board, I can't make a motion.
Okay, I was confused then.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
sorry, this is all new, we're all trying to figure this out. Yeah, I'm not, actually, the chair could have made a motion, I'm not part of the board, and so I'm
Okay,
not.
I apologize. Again, I'm thinking of council of the whole, and
Yeah,
so
sure.
I was confused. I apologize.
I move to accept Executive Kleppel's nominations to these liaison positions as she has listed them.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm back in the chair spot. All right. We are now looking at date and time of the next regular meetings, which are listed. The standing committees coming up, we now have standing committees. So there will be, the board had agreed to leave them at the same times. So these will be the next meetings coming up in January. The committee of the whole meeting will be coming up also in January, and then the regular county board meeting in January. I don't need to read all those dates, do I? I don't think so. Okay. Public participation this evening. Does anybody wish to do public participation? I don't have any cards from anyone. No. Okay, no public participation this evening. Communications. I just have a reminder to the board members to complete their statement of economic interest, which is on file at the county clerk's website. You can fill out the form there or download it there. Okay, next is approval of the minutes. We have 2 minutes to approve from previous meeting in November and the organizational meeting in December.
Just a point of order, you could ask if anyone else has communication.
Pardon?
You should see if anyone else has.
Oh, does anybody else want to communicate anything? I'm sorry, forgot about everybody else.
Sorry.
Do you want to communicate?
No.
Okay. Okay, all right.
So I hope I had something to say. So I just want to make sure that when we do the online training, that we're supposed to turn them in, right? Is that correct?
Yes,
Turn them into the office here?
you can turn them in to Kay,
Okay.
who is your secretary for the board. You can give them to the clerk.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, moving on now to approval of minutes. Harper makes the motion. Second. Vachasapati seconds. Any discussion? Mr. Goss?
I have a correction on the organizational meeting on page 11, the swearing in of the county board members. My name was missing.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other corrections? Any other discussion? Okay, those in favor of accepting the minutes?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, those are on file. Great. The next thing on our agenda is the 2017 fiscal year comprehensive annual financial report. This is our presentation from our outside auditor, which is the Baker Tilly firm. George, do you want to introduce them or just let them go? Okay.
Good afternoon, Board. I'm glad to join you as the new auditor. I am happy to introduce Baker Tilly's Jason Coyle to discuss our 2017 CAFR.
Thank you. Well, good evening. It's good to be with you. I'm going to keep my remarks rather brief, but obviously if you have any questions while I go, feel free to ask them. As was mentioned, I'm Jason Coyle. I'm a partner with Baker Tilly. We're the independent auditors for the county, and I'm going to discuss briefly your financial 17 audit results along with our management letter. We're kind of in a unique position. You don't actually have the CAFR in front of you. It's still in draft form at this time. Our hope is to issue that quite quickly. Given that, I'll just go through a few financial highlights with you. You do issue a comprehensive annual financial report, particularly for those who are new to the board. goes by CAFR for short. It's kind of a higher level of reporting than you're actually required to do. There's some additional information in your financial statements that aren't required to be there. That's great because it provides additional transparency of your operations to others who would be using your financial statements. In particular, in the back, there's a section called a statistical section, which provides 10 years worth of financial information. So again, if you're new to the board, that could help provide a lot of trend information as to what's going on at the county over the last 10 years. And you do prepare your own financial statements. So your CAFR, once you receive it, you'll see is quite lengthy. It's 300 plus pages long. Staff here prepare that, which again is a little bit unique. A lot of places outsource that to us as the auditor to do that. So you're to be congratulated, one, for continuing to prepare a CAFR, and two, for doing that in-house. Our anticipated opinion on our financial statements is what we call unmodified, which is the highest level of assurance we could give on your financial statements, same level of assurance we gave in prior years. Basically what that means in layman's terms is that whoever is using the information within your financial statements can rely on it as they evaluate, rely on it in all material respects, I should say, as they evaluate the health of the organization. Again, for those of you who are new, there's a section of the CAFR called MD&A, which stands for Management's Discussion Analysis. I know a lot of people don't come to the board to look through 300 pages of financial statements. So I would encourage you at least to look at the MD&A, or Management's Discussion Analysis. It highlights in a few pages what went on during the year, summarizes some of that information, and again, just calls out some of the larger transactions during the year. So I would encourage you all to at least look at that section of the financial statements. A few years ago, there was a new standard that went into effect that applied the pension liabilities to the county and all government's financial statements for the first time. Obviously, we're in the state of Illinois, so pensions are always a big deal in the state of Illinois, unfortunately. You may or may not be aware that the county employees are basically in one pension plan administered by IMRF, which is the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. The good news for you on that is IMRF is relatively well-funded, particularly compared to other pension funds in the state of Illinois. So your net pension liabilities are rather minor in the grand scheme of things. And they went down compared to last year. In fact, for one of your plans, you're in a net pension asset position rather than a net pension liability position. So, that's in large part due not only to the funding, but also to the stock market improvements that we'd seen. So I always like to mention that because, again, pensions tend to be a big deal here in Illinois. Overall, when we look at your financial statements as a whole and we consider your capital assets, which are investments in your buildings and roads and things like that, we saw an improvement in your financial position of $5.8 million during the year. When we look at just some of your funds, your primary operating fund is called your general fund or corporate fund. That increased fund balance by $600,000 during the year. One of the things I always like to look at is a ratio compared fund balance to expenditures during the year, and you're at about 15%, a little over 15% in your general fund. That went up slightly from the prior year, obviously, as the fund balance increased. Looking at your governmental funds overall, they went up by approximately $1.3 million during the year. You do have one fund, the proprietary fund. It's not a governmental fund. Your proprietary fund is your nursing home fund. Proprietary funds, in their nature, are meant to be relatively self-supporting. You do provide some property tax assistance to the nursing home. That fund lost $3.36 million during the year, though. There's a lot of other, and that kind of concludes my financial highlights, but there is a lot of other more detailed information within your financial statements. Once you get past the basic financial statements, there's a lot of notes to the financial statements, provide a lot of very detailed information of your debt, capital assets, other liabilities that you have. And then as you go further into the financial statements, there's budget to actual comparisons for all the funds that the county has, and the county has a lot of funds, so there's a lot of pages there. But it provides a lot of very in-depth information, particularly the budget to actual comparison, because you could see what did you predict to be at the beginning of the year with your budget, and where did you actually end up the year with the actual information. One of the other documents that you'll get once we finally conclude the audit would be what we commonly call our management letter. When we come in to do the audit of the county, one of the things we do is we kind of kick the tires on your internal controls or your checks and balances. We do that to allow us to plan the audit and assess if there's any risks in your operations that we might need to develop some audit tests around. The byproduct of that is if there's some recommendations for improvement, we communicate those to you. We did have a couple recommendations for improvement that you'll see in there, relatively unchanged from the prior year, so I won't go over them in depth, but we did see actually some slight improvements. We had some compensating controls that were put into place since the prior year. But there do continue to be a couple recommendations in there that I would encourage you as a board to at least review so you're aware of those as you manage and operate the county here. With that, I will turn it over to you should you have any questions or comments for me.
The $3 million loss in the proprietary fund,
The nursing
was
home.
that due to write-off of AR? What made up that $3 million loss?
That was part of it, yes. Write-off of the AR was definitely part of it. I'm sure it was made up of even more than that, but there was a large write-off of some accounts receivable during the year that led to a portion of that. Not all of it, but a portion of that, yes. I don't have details as to exactly what made up all the losses. It's a lot of different things, but the inability to collect on some of the receivables, both this year and in the prior year, 16, has led to some of the losses, yes.
You had mentioned that there is a couple of areas of auditing risk. Do you know what they are off the top of your head?
The recommendations for
Yeah.
improvement? Yes. One of them relates to the nursing home receipts, and it kind of goes to what we were just talking about, some of the accounts receivable. There's several points, and again, you'll get this, but we'd like to see some additional improvements over the cash receipts at the nursing home. These recommendations don't necessarily mean anything wrong is going on right now. We'd just like to see some additional checks and balances around that. The other one relates to segregation of duties more centrally here at the county. One related to payroll, processing, some cash collections, and then also related to the property tax collections and distributions. The segregation of duties idea there is that we don't want anybody to be able to do the process from beginning to end. So we don't want to be able to, somebody, for example, in the payroll, put somebody into the system and then run it all the way through to pay somebody. So again, it doesn't mean that there's anything inappropriate going on. It just means there are some access rights or some ability for somebody could potentially do that, and that might not get caught. So we'd just like to see some additional checks and balances put in there to help safeguard the assets of the county. So some of these things are harder to put into place than you might think, though. Particularly, you have a rather antiquated general ledger system and things like that can make making changes a little bit more difficult. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to make these changes, but we like to communicate them so that at least as you consider the operations, you know where your risks are.
Any other questions? Mr. McGuire?
It says it's red. Okay. Back to Jim's question about the $3.6 million and the AR you discussed that was aged. We've identified it. I think and that may be what you're talking about is identifying it. We've talked about in the past, writing some of that off as.
Some of it was written off. That's what led to
It
a
has.
portion of the loss, yes.
And then is there additional need to do that?
Well, I mean, I don't have detail as to what has transpired since we did this audit, which is almost a year ago at this point. But there is a continual need to evaluate that receivable, to evaluate whether or not it's going to be receivable on a regular basis.
Are we in the middle of an audit right now that we're trying to complete?
Well, we're trying to wrap up this 17 audit, and then we'll be back before you know it to work on the 18 audit. Yes.
Okay. And that's been delayed also, and how is that impacting the other organizations that we're responsible for?
Well, the 18 audit hasn't been delayed yet. You're just coming up to the end of your 18 fiscal year end, right at the end of December here. So we're almost there, and then we won't be back out for a few months to work on that. So,
But the audit you're working on is delayed because of the nursing home, and is it impacting some of the other organizations in the county because of that, right?
it's been delayed, yes, and yes, it has impacted some of the organizations who need the report to file with different various organizations in the state and whatnot.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're moving on to the finance section of our agenda. So I'm turning this part over to Mr. Goss.
Okay, we are on 18A, A1, which is adoption of Resolution 2018-381, authorizing payment of claims. Is there a motion? Second? Second, Clifford. Any discussion? Stephanie?
Sorry, just a point of order. We now have committees, correct? So
Right, but
I
this
think
is-
you're moving everything. Usually in the full board, you move everything.
Right, but we didn't have committee of the whole this month.
So we just
So
don't do it
this-
that way? Okay. I just want to make,
Yeah, from
was
this
confused.
point forward, yes, you're correct.
Okay.
Because we haven't had a committee of the whole.
Okay.
This is all new, so I can't make the motions.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Adoption of resolution number 20118. No, they don't. These are 18A, 1 and 2. Adoption of resolution number 2018-416, authorizing purchases not following the purchasing policy. Stephanie, second. Aaron, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, now we're under new business, 19A1. Adoption of resolution number 2018-417, authorizing budget transfer 18-0006, Fund 619, tax sale automation to 026, County Treasurer. Total amount is $154. The reason was to cover a shortage for temporary help for Social Security, unemployment, and workers' comp insurance for that temporary help. This one does require 15 votes, but is there a motion? McGuire, is there a second? Cowart, any discussion? Okay, if the clerk,
Inquiry. Do we need to suspend the rules to do these? To do anything on the finance agenda under new business?
why would we suspend the rules?
Because it hasn't gone through committee.
We know,
There's reasons to bring things to the full board that are listed in the rules,
Right.
and they're emergencies or things that have to be paid, or,
Okay,
you know.
so these
yeah,
are
yeah.
under, these are as emergencies. Okay, that's fine.
would the clerk please call the roll?
Clifford? Cowart? Eisenman?
Yes.
Esri?
Yes.
Furtado? Goss?
Yes.
Harper? Ingram?
Yes.
King Taylor?
Yes.
McGuire? Patterson?
Yes.
Rector? Summers?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Tinsley?
Yes.
Vachaspati?
Yes.
Woken? Young?
Yes.
Clemens?
Yes.
Okay, the next one, adoption of resolution number 2018-418, authorizing budget transfer 18-0007 from Fund 613 Court Automation to Fund 030 Circuit Clerk. The amount of the transfer is $10,000. The transfer will cover the final computer purchase for the office and file viewing room. Is there such a motion? McGuire, second? Ingram for the second. Discussion, we do have the circuit clerk here if you've got questions.
I just have a comment. I just wanted to thank the circuit clerk for the memo and strongly encourage other people to follow that example and provide memos because it makes it a lot easier to understand what's going on.
It makes it a lot easier for those finance people, those of us who are finance people, to understand for sure. Any further discussion? This does require 15 votes, so would they clerk please call the roll?
Clifford? Cowart? Eisenman?
Yes.
Esri?
Yes.
Furtado? Goss?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Ingram?
Yes.
King Taylor?
Yes.
McGuire? Patterson? Rector? Summers?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Tinsley?
Yes.
Bachaspati,
Yes.
Woken, Young,
Yes.
Clemens.
Yes.
Okay, number 3, adoption of resolution number 2018-419, authorizing budget amendment 18-00070, Fund 092 Law Library to Fund Department 074 Law Library. Increased appropriations, $12,000. Increased revenue, it's from the fund balance. The reason is for the law library to fund balance sufficient to cover increased appropriations for self-representation, help desk printer and supplies, and additional print subscription updates. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Cowart? Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Young. Any discussion? Seeing none, this does require 15 votes, so will the clerk please call the roll?
Clifford? Cowart? Eisenman?
Yes.
Esri?
Yes.
Furtado? Goss?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Ingram?
Yes.
King Taylor?
Yes.
McGuire?
Yes.
Patterson? Rector?
Yes.
Summers?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Tinsley?
Yes.
Bachaspati?
Yes.
Woken? Young?
Yes.
Clemens.
Yes.
Okay, number 4, adoption of resolution number 2018-429, authorizing budget amendment 18-00071, Fund 080 General Corporate to Department 022 County Clerk, increased appropriations of $11,709, increased revenue of $11,711. To cover expenses, the reason is to cover expenses related to voter registration system support and maintenance reimbursed from grant funds received. Is there such a motion? McGuire, second. Esri, any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Clifford? Cowart? Eisenman?
Yes.
Esri?
Yes.
Furtado? Goss?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Ingram?
Yes.
King Taylor?
Yes.
McGuire? Patterson? Rector? Summers?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Tinsley?
Yes.
Bachaspati?
Yes.
Woken? Young?
Yes.
Clemens.
Number 5, adoption of resolution number 2018-430, authorizing budget amendment number 18-00072, Fund 080 General Corporate to 022 County Clerk, increased appropriations of $14,062, increased revenue, none from the fund balance. Reason is to cover salary and final payout to staff and exited employees to the end of 2018 budget year. Is there such a motion? Ms. Furtado, second. Mr. Clifford, discussion. Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Clifford? Cowart? Eisenman?
Yes.
Esri?
Yes.
Furtado? Goss?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Ingram?
Yes.
King Taylor?
Yes.
McGuire? Patterson? Rector? Summers?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Tinsley?
Yes.
Bachaspati?
Yes.
Woken? Young?
Yes.
Clemens?
Number 6, adoption of resolution number 2018-435, authorizing budget amendment 18-00074, Fund 080 General Corporate to Department 023. Increased appropriations $140,000, increased revenue $210,000. Reason is to cover the increase in revenue stamps due to increase in the sales of property. This reflects a net positive to the county budget. Is there such a motion? Ingram, second. Harper, discussion. I believe this is all from the big amounts of transfer of properties we've had this season, or this year. Yes, Mr. Patterson.
I'm sorry, but I have a point of order. I don't think the committee chairs are supposed to be presiding. I mean, I'm looking at the rules, and I think that the way it's usually done if it's a new item is that the presiding officer, which would be the executive in this case, would have the chair of that committee do the motion, but as far as asking for debate and calling for a vote, that needs to be the presiding officer. So we're not doing proper procedure right now, in my opinion. And we all have a copy of the rules tonight conveniently, so. So I'm looking at section 7. I think 7A and 7B are the relevant.
Oh, yeah.
I can say, having done this, this is different than how, even when it was new business before, Pius definitely read it and I moved it, on this meeting. I know that, but,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it could be we were doing it wrong before for the new business, because before, right, it would have been a mix of new and old business, but this is definitely different.
Well, we need a parliamentarian, obviously, for this.
Well, as the presiding officer, you should make a decision.
I should make a decision, okay. Well, I'm fine with the new chairs reading it and asking. I mean, it's the same process. I'm fine with that.
Okay, can I move to suspend the rules to allow us to keep doing it the way we've
Sure,
been doing it?
if you think
And
you-
then we
yeah.
can figure out the right way to do it
Yes.
before the next meeting?
Okay,
Okay,
that's
so I
fine.
move to suspend the rules to allow for the chairs of the subcommittees to preside over the relevant subsections of those meetings for this meeting, for this session. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Second from
Seconded by
King
King
Taylor.
Taylor. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion passes. We will go back to doing it the way we were. Jim, you want to continue, please?
Yes, I've read that. Would you like me to reread it? We've got it. We do have a motion and a second, I do believe. Do we not, clerk?
Yeah.
Okay. Does everybody know where we're at? Number 6. Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Clifford. Yes. Court. Yes. Eisenman.
Yes.
Esri.
Yes.
Furtado. Yes. Goss.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Ingram.
Yes.
King Taylor.
Yes.
McGuire. Yes. Patterson. Rector. Yes. Summers.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Tinsley.
Yes.
Batchespati.
Yes.
Woken. Yes. Young.
Yes.
Clemens.
Okay, now we're on to the nursing home items. I would just state that these items are actually, at least the sale, which is the first item, number 7, was actually budgeted in 2018, and since it's not going to close in 2018, that's what this first item is. So, number 7, adoption of resolution number 2018-420, authorizing budget amendment 19-00001, Fund 081 Nursing Home, Department 405 Nursing Home Transition. Increased appropriations, $10,395,000. Increased revenue, $10,395,000. The reason the budget for the receipt of the sale proceeds, redemption of the 2015 bonds, 571.8, and defeasance of 2011 bonds, line 571.74, payment to the outside vendors for accounts payable obligations, and transfers to the county funds outstanding balances owed by the home. Is there such a motion? Esri, is there a second? Furtado, discussion. Ms. Furtado.
I have a quick question. Looking at the budget, if it's approved, I see that 1.1 basically $1 million would go to the self-insurance fund. Is there a reason that fund was put at the front of the line in terms of repaying our funds? Is it just the one that we need the money the most immediately for?
Well, if you remember, in 2019, the reallocation of the levy was to try to make the IMRF and Social Security funds partially whole, also the self-funded insurance fund. But the amount that is owed from the nursing home to the self-funded insurance fund has grown substantially since that was done. And so this appropriation was put in certain lines, although if it needs to be moved to other lines, we have the flexibility to do that. But the self-funded insurance fund is one that is owed a large amount of money.
That's what I figured. I just wanted to see.
Further discussion? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Clifford? No. Cowart? Yes. Eisenman?
Yes.
Esri?
Yes.
Furtado?
Yes.
Goss?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Ingram?
Yes.
King Taylor?
Yes.
McGuire? Yes. Patterson?
Yes.
Rector? Summers?
Yes.
Taylor? Tinsley?
Yes.
Bachaspati?
Yes.
Woken?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Clemens?
Yes.
Motion passes. Number 8, adoption of resolution number 2018-421, authorizing budget amendment 19-00004, Fund 081 Nursing Home, Department 410, increased appropriations $2,766,650, increased revenue $2,766,650. Reason, budget for continuing operations of the home in FY 2019 until the sale is completed. Is there such a motion? Cowart, is there a second? Tinsley, discussion. See,
How many months would that cover for the home?
sorry. Tammy, can you?
This is for 2 months of operations plus some wind down costs.
And what decisions or information allowed that decision to be made? So how did we come up with 2 months?
That aligns with the resolutions that the county board approved for the accounts payable loan and also for the payroll loans.
Ms. Furtado.
So if for some reason it wasn't sold by the end of, or really not the end, by the middle of February, we would need to vote again on all of those items?
That's correct.
Further discussion? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Clifford? No. Cowart? Yes. Eisenman?
Yes.
Esri?
Yes.
Furtado? Yes. Goss?
Yes.
Harper?
No.
Ingram?
Yes.
King Taylor?
Yes.
McGuire? Yes. Patterson?
Yes.
Rector? No. Summers?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Tinsley?
Yes.
Bachaspati?
Yes.
Woken? No. Young?
Yes.
Clemens?
Passed. It was 15.
Yeah, it's 15. It's 15-4.
15-4.
Am I right, Dan?
The 15-4.
Yep.
It was
Okay.
15-4.
Okay, now we're back to simple majorities. Adoption of resolution number 2018-422, authorizing the cancellation of the appropriate certificate of purchase on real estate permanent parcel 20-03-35-354-001. Is there a motion? Mr. Esri, is there a second? Mr. Clifford, discussion. Mr. Vachaspati.
Again, I understand that these were emergency budget amendments. I really don't see how this falls under any of the categories that allow us to do this. I'm going to move to suspend the rules to allow us to vote on this.
You've suspended the rules at one point. I mean, do we need to suspend them to do?
That was to suspend the rules to allow you to preside. So I don't see us being able to discuss this matter under the rules.
Darlene?
Well, you suspended the rules, so I don't.
I mean, when you suspend the rules, you don't suspend all the rules, you suspend a particular rule.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought we suspended the rules to allow the chairs to present the items on the agenda.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Only items first presented to committee of the whole and committee.
These haven't been presented either.
None of these have been
None of
presented
these
to a
been presented
committee.
because we didn't have a committee of the whole in the month of December.
These are all new business.
Right, but item F in the rules under item 10F allows us. Item 10F allows us to place on the agenda emergency budget amendments. It does not allow us to place on the agenda an item authorizing the cancellation of a certificate of real estate, as far as I can tell. Now, you're the president of the board, so you get to make that call, but I don't see it being the case. That we
Can someone speak?
Pardon, Jim, do you want to say something?
In the beginning of the meeting, we accepted the agenda, and you voted to accept the agenda as it's presented.
That's true. And I understand. I guess I'll rule that we should keep it on. What I'm going to say here is I don't yet understand the details of why all these items have to be done right at this moment, but different people asked me to put them on the agendas, and knowing that it was a special meeting and there wouldn't be a committee. So I'm assuming
And
there's
this is not unusual for us to bring things directly to the board, full board. And even yourself accepted that we would change the rules to accept these items. This is not unusual. Just because you want to make some point about the agenda.
I'm not
Or the
making a
vote.
point about the agenda. I'm making sure we're doing things according to the rules, because otherwise these may not be valid motions, valid resolutions. You know, we could get challenged or sued.
okay. I think we can move forward.
Kyle, did you have? Okay, do we have a motion? We do. Yeah, so is there any further discussion on this particular item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next one, adoption of resolution number 2018-431, amending the schedule of authorized positions for the Champaign County Office of the County Executive. So this is, Darlene has had it evaluated. Am I in the right spot? Yes, you've had a position evaluated by the policy committee, a personnel committee, and she's bringing forward this as an option. So I need a motion on the floor. Mr. Rector, second. Ms. Furtado. Discussion.
Could you just speak to this, what your thoughts are?
Am I allowed to speak? I
Yeah.
don't know if
Yeah, you're allowed to speak.
All right, I guess we suspended the rules, okay.
No.
So, yeah, my thinking is that there is a position in the county that currently is retiring and does many human resource functions that are what I would consider at the processing level. And then there's also a need for a person to do more advanced kinds of human resource activities, which the county's needed for a long time. And so just taking the opportunity of this person retiring to sort of restructure what's going on in the office and adding those responsibilities, so.
Darlene, do we perceive this to be semi-budget neutral?
It'll be a little bit more. There is money in the budget from the position to do that. I won't be asking for a budget amendment.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 10, adoption of resolution number 2018-431, amending the schedule of authorized position, that's number 10, sorry. Number 11, adoption of resolution number 2018-432, amending the schedule of authorized positions for the Champaign County Highway Department Assistant County Engineer. Is there such a motion? Lorraine, is there a second? Mr. Ingram, Mr. Blue is in the room if we've got questions for him. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 12, adoption of resolution 20148-433, amending the schedule of authorized position for the Champaign County Highway Department Highway Foreman. Is there such a motion? Ms. Cowart, second, Mr. Summers. Discussion. There's a roll call, there's a second. Any discussion regarding this position? Mr. Blue is here. This is a change. Yep, Mr. Esri. Okay, seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Clifford. Cowart. Eisenman.
No.
Esri.
No.
Furtado. Goss.
No.
Harper.
No.
Ingram.
Yes.
King Taylor.
Yes.
McGuire. Yes. Patterson.
Yes.
Rector.
No.
Summers.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Tinsley.
Yes.
Vachaspati.
Yes.
Woken. No. Young.
Yes.
Clemens.
Motion passes. Okay, and the number 13, adoption of resolution number 2018-434, amending the schedule of authorized positions for the Champaign County State's Attorney. Is there such a motion? Ms. Furtado, is there a second? Ms. King Taylor. Discussion. This has to do with the Carl case that's being litigated in January. Katie's here, but it's not, it's the state's attorney. Katie, if you want to speak to it. Yep. That happens in January, as I understand it. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 14, the nursing home financial reports are in your packet for information only. Anybody that's studied them, I would make note and mention that page 59, 60, 61, and 62 are exact duplicates of the next 4 pages. So if you were confused like I was, they are exact duplicates. It must have ran through the copy machine twice. So, any discussion on that? Madam Chair, that concludes the finance section. Oh,
One more item
thank
on
you.
the addendum.
Sorry. Just when you thought you were out of the water. Okay, number 15, adoption of resolution number 2018-436, authorizing budget amendment 18-00075, Fund 080, General Corporate, to Department 031, Circuit Court, Increased appropriations $20,900. Increased revenue from the fund balance. Reason unforeseen expenditures due to special juries for 2018 and ASL interpreter needs. Is there such a motion? Mr. Esri, is there a second? Mr. Clifford, is there discussion? We do have the circuit clerk in the house. Court administrator, if you've got questions. I know if you could come forward, I did have a quick question. Sorry, I didn't see in the memo, and maybe it was explained, I just missed it. What's ASL interpreter?
American Sign Language.
Okay, all right. Any other questions? Sorry, I didn't, for something that trivial, but I couldn't decipher it, so. Any other discussion? It is a roll call vote. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Clifford? Cowart? Eisenman?
Yes. Yes.
Harper? Ingram?
Yes.
King Taylor? McGuire? Patterson? Rector? Summers?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Tinsley?
Yes.
Vachaspati?
Yes.
Woken? Young?
Yes.
Clemens?
Motion passes. Now, Madam Chair, that
Okay.
concludes the finance portion.
Thank you. So we're moving on now to the policy, personnel, and appointments section of the agenda. And there are some appointments to be made. You ready, Mr. Young?
Yes, I'm ready. Okay, under policy, personnel, and appointment. Italicized name indicate incumbent. Number 1, Mental Health Board, 2 position, term 1/1/2019 to 12/31/2022. There were 4 names nominated and 2 were selected. The 2 people that were selected were Judy O'Connor and Jane Sprendel for the Mental Health Board. Can I have a motion to the appointment of Judy O'Connor and Jane Sprendel to the Mental Health Board? Jane. The name, okay. So the applicants are Judith O'Connor, Passy Petrie, Ann Robert, and Jane Sprendel. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay. A adoption resolution number 2018-423, appointing Judith O'Connor to the Mental Health Board. B, adoption of resolution. Oh, we got to do a motion, sorry.
You need a motion, yeah.
I'm on the roll, okay. Okay, any discussion?
I was just wondering, how was it decided which ones were chosen?
Okay, so I'm new to this, and that's okay, that's good. So my understanding, it was determined by our new county executive who did the interview. She interviewed them.
I did interview all 4 applicants and made a decision about what I thought was the best fit. I did also talk to the director of the agency and some other people in the community.
Okay. Any further discussion? So will we signify by saying aye? Okay, all in favor by saying aye? Aye. Any nay? None. Moving forward. Motion passes, sorry. Okay, so, yes, I got number 2, Champaign. Which other motion? Oh, sorry. So, okay, B, adoption of resolution number 2018, I'm going too fast, 424, appointing Jane Sprendel to the Mental Health Board. Second? Any second? Okay. Ingram. Any discussion? Seeing none. What was the next roll? Those in favor by saying aye. Aye. Any nay? Motion carry. Good. Okay, now I'm on number 2, right? Good. Okay, we're gonna get there. Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit District 2 position 1/2019 to 12/31/2023. The applicants was Margaret Chaplin, Brad Deal, and Patsy Petrie. Can I have a motion? Oh, where they at? Where is it? Oh, sorry. Adoption resolution number 2018-425, appointing Bradley Deal to the Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit District. Ingram first. Who second? Tato second. Okay. Any discussion? Yes, go.
Yeah, I am a frequent MTD user, and I'm sort of disappointed that there were so few applicants to this position. I hope that our executive and PPA
Yes.
leadership, and as well as the rest of us, will sort of try to do better recruiting more applicants to these positions, so that we have more competition.
Absolutely, and I will look into it. Any more discussion? Okay, signify by saying aye. Any nay? Seeing none, motion passed. Okay, number 3 here, adoption resolution. Oh, B, sorry. Adoption resolution number 2018-426, appointing Margaret Chaplin to the Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit District Board. Any motion? Second, okay. Any discussion? Goss. Who is first? Goss. Okay. Any discussion? Signify by saying aye. Aye. Any nay? Motion carries. All right, where I'm at next. Number 3, all righty. Adoption resolution number 2018-427, designating the 2019 Champaign County Board calendar of meetings. Okay. Any conversation?
I just have a comment. In case you're following along on your calendar with multiple colors, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right, that October 24th should be colored in pink. So if you put this on your refrigerator and don't show up for the county board meeting on the 24th, I'm pretty sure it should be pink.
Okay.
I think Mr. Busey would like to know who seconded that. I didn't catch it myself. Mr. Tinsley, okay.
Yes, I amend that the calendar be colored in pink. I don't think the calendar is an official part of the resolution.
Okay. Any further discussion? All signify by saying aye. Aye. Any nay? Motion carried. Okay, number 4, adoption resolution number 20.
We did those already.
Sorry. Okay. Number 6, request review and evaluation of circuit clerk position of financial manager and account clerk by the Job Content Evaluation Committee. Any motion? Kyle Patterson, 1 second. Any discussion?
Can you tell us a little bit about what this is, what the goal of this is?
The calendar? No. Don't know yet.
The circuit clerk is here. She can.
Oh, well, you go. I thought you were talking to me. Sorry.
follow-up question? I have a follow-up question. If they're being upgraded, are you anticipating they'd be being upgraded out of the bargaining unit and? Okay. Mhm. Do you, I believe this contract, your contract, right, is currently being negotiated? Is that accurate? Your, the CBA? Yeah. So is this something that you're talking about within the scope of that negotiations, or is it something that has to be? Okay. No, I was going to say, I doubt they're going to be upset if you upgrade their member, but yeah. Sure. Sure. And yeah, I don't know who's on the labor committee, I forget from 20 minutes ago, but that might be worthwhile. Just, I mean, if you're finding this in your department, there might be other departments, and it would be better to address that while the contract is open than after the contract, right? So this would be, this is the good time to be doing this.
Any more discussions, questions? Okay. All in favor by saying aye? Aye. Any nay? Motion pass.
Okay,
All
thanks,
right.
Charles.
Yep, that's it. That's it on my end.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is Highway and Transportation. This is for information only. No, I'm sorry, this one's not for information. Ms. Cowart, do you want to?
Okay, Jeff, would you sit over there in case they have any questions? I'm quite sure they will. But the Highway and Transportation is asking for adoption of resolution number 2018-428, awarding contract for furnace and delivery of aggregate material for 2019 maintenance of various road districts in Champaign County, and I so move. You need somebody else to make the motion. Okay, it's been moved in second, and it's open for discussion. See, no questions, Jeff? Oh, Jeff's gonna say it at home. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That's all for highway.
Okay, thank you. The next thing on the agenda is item E, which is on your addendum. It's the Justice and Social Services. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed one again. County Facilities is next, and it is for information only. That's part of the agreement to sell the nursing home. They're building a sidewalk next to the roadway, which now is a public roadway. Next to Art Bartel Road used to be a county road, and now it's a public roadway, so we have to have a sidewalk next to it. So this is just the plan moving forward with the RFP will be issued to do that. Okay. The next item on the agenda is E, Justice and Social Services. Mr. Patterson?
Can I get adoption of resolution number 2018-437, approving application for, and if awarded, acceptance of the United States Department of Justice NCSX Implementation Assistance Grant. King Taylor moved, Summers second. Any discussion? We actually have.
The sheriff is here, yeah.
You have a sheriff here tonight. Do you want to come up? I had at least one question.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you today. Just a brief synopsis, because I know all of these acronyms can get a little crazy. So for number one, we currently keep records through the FBI, which is called the UCR, the Uniform Crime Report. These are very limited on what we keep statistics on. As a sheriff, what we do is every month I have a sheet of paper with 8 offenses on it. Typically, the most heinous offenses we have in our criminal justice system: robbery, murder, sexual assault, etc. And if an incident occurs, and over the last month, we have, let's say one robbery occurred, I would put a 1 in that slot. That takes into account, there could have been several offenses that occurred in that one incident, but it takes into account the most heinous crime. So with that synopsis, the FBI is transitioning to what's called the National Incident-Based Reporting System. It is a much more in-depth reporting system and keeps statistics on much more micro level as far as what type of victim it was, what day of the week it was, what time of the day it was, etc. And it also takes into consideration every offense that was committed in a sequence, not necessarily just the most heinous. So what this grant will potentially give us the opportunity to do, we are transitioning to this by, I believe it's 2021. This is a potential grant from the FBI to allow us some grant money to help with the assisting of programming costs and analysis and things like that in order to implement this new system. There is not a matching component with the county, so the county is not going to be out any money. It's all going to be additional money to help with this transition if we receive the grant.
Stephanie?
Do you have a sense of like the rate of funding? Like how many, like what is the likelihood of getting funded?
I don't know. Captain Cook, who is our captain over law enforcement and court security, actually worked on this. And I'll tell you, because there's no matching requirement, both of these, they're amendments to the agenda tonight because it was a relatively short turnaround time. And so I have no idea. I'm assuming that they put this out to every law enforcement agency in the nation. And so I have no idea what the potential will be. We needed board approval to even apply for it, though.
Any other questions?
I have a question. The Justice Task Force is working on integrating different incidents here, not only with police, but different crimes here in Champaign. Will this grant assist them in some of the things they're trying to do?
I can't speak to that specifically, but I will say that this information is public information, just like the UCR, what we currently use is. And I don't think too much data is a bad thing. I think that the more micro level we can look at why crime is occurring, the typical victims of crime, days of the week, it allows me as a sheriff, it allows chiefs to really be able to plan better, use resources better. I absolutely think that they will be in alignment with each other. I do, but I can't speak to that for sure.
Any other questions? All right. Thanks, Sheriff. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Next up is adoption of resolution 2018-438, approving application for, and if awarded, acceptance of the Illinois Department of Transportation Distracted Driving Grant. Do I have a motion? Ingram, second. King Taylor. Discussion? Is this just pretty much for overtime for people targeting, are you looking people using cell phones or?
Yes, so this is another grant that has no monetary matching by the county, but again, we have to have county board approval to apply for this grant. If accepted for this to the Illinois Department of Transportation, they will provide us with, I believe it's just under $3,000 to recompensate us for distracted driving, which generally will include texting and driving, talking on your cell phone and driving without a hands-free device, those types of things, which we in law enforcement know that a lot of accidents are caused by those distractions inside a vehicle.
Have any questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right,
Thank you.
that's it.
Thank you. Okay, we're down to other business. I have no other business. Does anyone else have other business? Okay, I'm calling the meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.